Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going a bit beyond just the page headlines. We're looking at an athlete's retirement, but really it's about the personal journey behind that kind of huge. Our mission here is to unpack, the thinking, the feelings, the whole process when a pro decides to step away from a lifelong career. And our main source for this is an SI.com piece by Patrick McAvoy from July 3rd, 2025. It's titled Red Sox Fan Favorite Officially Retiring, Ending 13-Year MLB Career, and it covers the announcement from former outfielder Kevin.
Right. And what really jumps out, I think, isn't just, okay, he retired, how openly he talked about getting to that point. It really gives you a window into, well, these big life changes, especially when your whole career plays out in public.
Yeah,
It's the human side.
exactly. We're talking about Kevin Pillar. Folks called him outfield Superman, remember?
Yeah.
For those amazing catches. A real MLB journeyman. Played 13 seasons, which is impressive on its own, but for 10 different teams in the big leagues.
10 teams. That's incredible.
It really is. It says so much about his ability to adapt, from the Blue Jays early on, then Giants, Mets, Braves, Red Sox, Dodgers, kept going.
Yeah, adapting to that many clubhouses, cities, teammates, while still playing at that level, it's extraordinary. It shows incredible tenacity. But, like the article points out, even after all that time, deciding to finally, hang up the cleats, it wasn't straightforward for him. He made it official on the Foul Territory show. Pretty simply put it, too. Just said, I guess I can officially say I'm done playing.
I guess. So what's behind that phrasing? It sounds like there was some uncertainty, maybe? He actually said he needed to be 100% sure, and he admitted he thought last year might have been the end.
Yeah.
Mentioned things I went through, which sounds personal, sounds like a struggle.
It does. And it's that honesty that's compelling.
But then the offseason rolls around, and apparently his whole mindset just flipped. It makes you wonder, right? What happens in that downtime away from the game that can cause such a big shift?
Well, that's where it gets really interesting. He explained that this idea of being totally finished, it started to eat at him a little bit. And it wasn't only missing the game, the competition, it was also stinging from how his last season ended.
Oh, okay. So that feeling of unfinished business, not ending it on his terms.
Exactly. That became a really strong motivator inside him. And look, that's not just athletes, is it? Lots of us feel that need to close chapters properly.
And it wasn't just mental, was it? He had a physical challenge, too. He talked about having thumb surgery, then going through what he called the tedious process.
Right, that word tedious really paints a picture.
It does. And getting cleared to throw again after all that work, that's...
So you've got the physical grind plus that nagging feeling.
And it led him to think, you know what, if I don't go back and try, I might have some...
It really is.
Yeah.
Think about it. The fear of regret was stronger motivation to go through surgery, rehab, another comeback attempt. Stronger than just saying, okay, 13 years, that's a great career. I'm done. And he specifically said he was very thankful he did try again, even though it only led to that short stint with the Rangers in spring training. It just shows how powerful that internal what if can be.
So he gives it another shot with the Rangers, puts in all that effort, the rehab, the mental push, and then he gets designated for assignment, DFA'd. So after everything, it ends abruptly again. You'd think that would be incredibly frustrating, maybe even leave him bitter.
Oh, absolutely. For a lot of people, that would be tough to swallow, really tough. But his take on it is actually quite profound, I think. He seems to have found real peace, not from getting back into the majors, from the clarity that came after being let go by the Rangers.
How so?
He said, and I'm paraphrasing slightly, but once I got on the other side, got a chance to be home and be dad, spend time. I wake up every morning now excited to be dad and see what the day brings. That really points to a major shift, doesn't it? A shift in his identity, what actually brings him joy now. It's a great reminder that sometimes peace doesn't come from hitting the goal you aimed for. Sometimes it comes from what you learn about yourself and your priorities during the chase.
So, okay, let's pull this together. What does it all mean? We've looked at Kevin Pillar's amazing 13-year career, 10 teams. We saw him grapple with retirement and hinting at some...
Those things I went through.
Right. And then that surprising turnaround in the offseason, driven by missing the game but also wanting a different end. That whole tedious process of rehabbing his thumb, a physical battle mirroring the internal.
And connecting that to the bigger picture. Pillar story. It didn't end with a walk-off homer, did it? It ended with that official announcement after a brief tryout with the Rangers got cut short. But it really highlights the courage needed to just keep pursuing something you love, but maybe even more. It shows the wisdom in knowing when it's genuinely time for something new, finding that ultimate peace in just being dad, waking up excited for family life. That's a powerful lesson for anyone, I think, about identity beyond your job title.
Yeah.
about finding fulfillment in different places.
That really resonates. And it leaves us with a question, maybe for you listening right now. Pillar pushed for a comeback, partly because he feared regret, even with injuries. And so in your life, how do you handle those moments when you're second guessing a big decision, especially about letting go of something you've poured your and maybe the harder part, how do you really know, how do you figure out when a totally new path, one that seems unrelated to everything you've done, can actually bring real, genuine excitement and a new sense of purpose?